Yes? Okay. Good afternoon, and thanks for coming at such short notice. Before we start, I want to acknowledge the presence of the Minister for Public Works and Ports, Honorable Miriam Blanchard, Dr. McIntyre, Honorable McIntyre, colleagues in the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, contractors present here today, and the members of the media. Today's signing ceremony is for a series of contracts for works that we have proposed in the Roseau Valley post-tropical storm Erica. We will sign 4 contracts today. The sum of those in the region of $506,000. The contractors are all from the area and local contractors, and will sign with us very shortly. I will now introduce Honorable McIntyre to say a few remarks.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, PS of the Ministry of Public Works. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Minister of Public Works, my colleague, Honorable Miriam Blanchard, our senior engineers in the Ministry of Public Works, all here with us today. Our contractors back here from the Roseau Valley, members of the media, good afternoon. It's certainly a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon witnessing the signature of these contracts. As you know, during Tropical Storm Erica, we suffered quite a bit in the Roseau Valley. It took us some time to get over the problems of the Roseau Valley. So today is very important for me in terms of actually being part of the signing ceremony of a number of contracts today. And that's just the beginning. We have a number of more contracts and various other programs that will unfold in the Roseau Valley. But just to give a brief background to what some of these projects in terms of the scope of works, we are signing 4 contracts today, and we're looking at, there's a road edge failure and reinstatement along the Forkani Road that has created some serious problems for us. And we'll be constructing a retaining wall there, measuring 13 meters long by 3.5 meters high, and of course the associated works with it. This contract is going to cost us, is awarded here today, is $78,588.13. Of course, and it may run a little over, but we're hoping that it can be done within that price. You know, if there's a little bit, we will deal with that. Mr. Curtis Luke has been selected to perform the duties on the construction of this retaining wall. The second one, we look at the road edge reinstatement along the Loda main road. That's close to the Trafalgar Loda intersection, higher up on the road there. Again, Mr. Curtis Luke was favorable there, costing $91,054.70. We're going to be constructing a retaining wall there, measuring 15 meters long by 3.5 meters high, of course, with the associated works. We'll now go to Loda in the road edge reinstatement along the T2 Gorge Road. And Mr. Harris Hodge of Loda, he will be building this one for us, costing $137,568.75. Of course, it's going to involve construction of a retaining wall measuring 25 meters long by 2.5 meters wide. Of course, average height and other associated costs there. Of course, T2 Gorge is extremely important for us in terms of the tourism product, and this is a road that we want to make sure we protect, and of course, the number of pipes relating to a hydro program as well there, but we'll be working there. So Mr. Hodge of Loda will be working on this one. The fourth one we'll sign today is Mr. Alvin Charles for $199,617. And that's construction of a retaining wall measuring 30 meters long by 4.0 meters, and associated roadworks. That has to do with the road edge reinstatement along the upper section of Loda Road, that's in the back area. So for me today, I'm very happy. And I'd like to say to the people of Dominica, and especially in particular the people, the residents of the Roseau Valley, this is just the beginning of big things to come for the Roseau Valley. And our concept is to build back, use the build back better concept, because Erica has taught us a lesson that we will never forget, those of us living within this time. We have not seen rains like that, nor have we seen the Roseau River, the Queens River, rage that way and really, wash all our edges away. And it's a challenge for us. So I trust the contractors that you were selected based on your expertise, your ability, and in terms of your best prices you could bring out here in terms of constructing this wall. The people of the Roseau Valley are looking forward to employment. This is not why you were chosen, because we're not telling you that, but we expect you to engage the people of the Roseau Valley. A lot of builders in the Roseau Valley, in the Wharton area, in Loda, Fokani, Trafalgar, you name it, Mont Prosper. We have people who are skilled, they can do the work. Let's engage our young people in terms of construction and put our people to work, and let's protect and build the Roseau Valley. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister McIntyre, for your detailed presentation. I now invite Minister Blanchard to give us some remarks.
Thank you, P.S. Johnson. Let me recognize, first of all, the presence of the parliamentary representative for the Roseau Valley, my colleague, Honorable McIntyre. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. P.S. of Public Works and Ports, CTO of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports, other engineers and technical staff of the ministry, the contractors who are here to sign the respective contracts for works in the Roseau Valley area, the media. Thank you all for joining us today, this afternoon. Today is a great day for us as a government as we move one step closer to realizing our goals of rehabilitating our beautiful island following the ravages of Tropical Storm Erica. In the next few minutes, we will sign 4 contracts for works totaling roughly $500,000 at the community level in the Roseau Valley to address mainly road edge failures, which were as a direct consequence of the passage of Tropical Storm Erica. At this point, let me extend congratulations to the individual contractors who will soon sign their respective contracts. We look forward as a ministry and as a government to working very closely with you as you execute the works based on the contracts given today. I want to take this opportunity as well to thank the technical and other staff of the Ministry of Public Works and Ports who have continued to work tirelessly with increasing demands following the passage of Tropical Storm Erica. I want to assure you that your efforts and the extra time that you have put in is acknowledged and well appreciated. Thank you, gentlemen. In addition to the contracts that will be signed shortly, there are a number of other interventions that are planned for the Roseau Valley area. Those include work on the Trafalgar Bridge, Copthall Bridge, the Papillon area to include the construction of retaining wall, also the construction of drainage structures close to in Trafalgar near the church, as well as in the Cabanis area. And those the ministry intends to work very feverishly to come to the end of the design phase on those projects. Once those have been prepared and are out to tender, we shall again inform the public, but those we have already listed as priorities now that we have already gotten through the 4 that were tendered before and contracts awarded to the contractors who are here today. Again, congratulations to the contractors, and we look forward to working with you as you execute the works. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Blanchard. We now move into the segment of our program where we have the formal signing of the contracts. Every contractor will sign 2 copies of his contract. And to introduce the contractors and his witnesses, I now call on Senior Engineer Lewis to that task. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Curtis Charles and his witness. Curtis Luke, sorry, and his witness. There's a pen. You also have to sign the witness. Yeah. After, so sign. Okay. Yes. No, I'll just sign everything. Not here, up here for you. Up here. Good. And his witness signs here. The witness signs here. On both. No. Okay. Second sip. Okay. Witness signs here. Right. Witness? Right here. Yes. Signature. Very good. Same thing again. Yes, sir. Okay. You can flip them. You can move them. Stand. Stand up. This is again, Mr. Charles. We have another one. Second contract. Mr. Luke. Yeah, second one here.
Slide.
And then the witness below. After. Yes. This is the sign again. Sure. That's okay. We can go. Just flip and then close and then we exchange. We stand.
Yes, sir. So, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
That's it, Mr. Luke.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. Then call Mr. Harris Hodge to sign. And Mr. Hodge. Yeah. You can just initial right there. You can sign already. Just one initial. Okay. Mr. Harris Hodge is signing on for a contract of $137,568.75 for works at T2 Gorge. Witnesses are now signed. You now sign. Sign. That's it. Okay, we close it and then exchange. We close now and exchange. Thank you, Ms. Hodge. The next contractor will be Mr. Alvin Charles. Mr. Charles is signing on for a contract of $199,617.
Yes. And then below.
Right, yes, please. That brings to end the signing of contracts. And then I'll hand over to the permanent secretary.
Yes.
There.
Okay. Thank you. I now have Honorable Prime Minister Roseau to deliver a few remarks. Honorable Prime Minister.
Very brief remarks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Works, and my colleague ministers, Honorable McIntyre, Honorable Blanchard, the CTO, and the staff of the Ministry of Public Works, and of course the media and the contractors present. As we have indicated, we've been working on a number of urgent interventions to enhance the safety of the residents and citizens and road users of a number of localities, a number of locations across the country. On the west coast, in the east, and the south, southeast, and the valley, as a result of the impact of Tropical Storm Erica. So the Ministry of Public Works has been really putting out very long hours to get the designs of those interventions and the quantities required for each of those drawings or interventions which we need to put in place. So I want to thank them publicly for their efforts, the entire staff, and, Permanent Secretary, the CTO, and Mr. Dwight Lewis and the other engineers in the Ministry of Public Works. They've been pushed heavily, on a regular basis to get the things done because of the anxiety of many with the impending hurricane season. And what should have been a dry season for us this year, we've gotten quite a bit of rain, so one is expecting a lot of rain, so there's some things that we have to do. While we wait for the larger interventions from our development partners, as we've indicated, the Chinese government will be underwriting a significant portion of the West Coast rehabilitation to include the 3 bridges which were washed away by Tropical Storm Erica. The government of the United Kingdom they have indicated their strong commitment. They'll be providing no less than £25 million to us And we have decided that those monies will be earmarked for Loubert down to Pichelin, Bacatel, Geneva, Font Saint-Jean area. And we have some funds from the World Bank under the DVRP program, which will be spending heavily in the Cassibus area, going towards the Kalinago territory, onto Pegua, then from Cassibus going down to Saint-Sauveur, Pilit-Souffre area. So there'll be major interventions in those areas. So we have some funding for that. We do not have all that's required for the comprehensive works, but in some of the critical areas, we have the funds for that. And the CDB also has allocated, well, based on the loan we have with them, and there's also an offer from them for additional financing, and we'll be spending a lot of resources in the Layou Valley, Layou area. So we do not yet have all of the resources required to cause all of the interventions to be financed, but we're making progress. As Minister of Finance, I have made a commitment to make resources available. So I have set aside about $30 million to be spent on immediate interventions. Those projects will be financed heavily by funds, a loan which we contracted, an emergency loan which we contracted from the International Monetary Fund. So those resources are coming from that source, and the balance will come from the Economic Synergy Program. Our hope and expectation is that the contractors will be efficient in the execution of the works, because time is not on our side, and that we have to be very efficient, and that as far as practically possible, we engage as many people in the communities as possible, so everybody could get something out of these contracts. We are very grateful for the commitment on the part of the contractors to deliver on time and in time, and that there will be no cost overruns with the projects, because the challenge which we have is that, notwithstanding the supervision from the Ministry of Works, there are some contractors who are not as diligent as they should be, and therefore, in the present circumstance, we cannot condone or we don't expect tardiness on the part of contractors. We will ensure that your payments are in time, so that you don't have to wait until a long period of time to get paid. But you have to send your certificate well in advance. You cannot send it on Thursday and then come Friday morning to get paid. The system doesn't work that way. You know, there are checks and balances. You have to go from one officer to the other. The verifications have to be made. Somebody has to be on site to verify whether what you're claiming is in fact what you have done. So the number of things that we have to take into consideration before payment is made. So you don't just bring in the paper and expect a check. Once you deliver the certificate, there's a process in place and so on. So let us make sure that we manage the resources properly. And of course, tomorrow there's another signing ceremony. I believe some 18 contracts will be signed tomorrow from Castle Comfort, going through Girondel down to Eggleston, down to Fortney. There'll be several interventions there. And secondly, another series of contracts will be signed for from Pichelin, Geneva, Bacatel area. There are several contracts will be signed there. That includes road surfacing, includes retaining walls, and a lot of dredging, along the river there in Pichelin, which the residents there are very worried about with the impending weather. So tomorrow another 18 contracts will be signed for a number of different contractors from those communities who will undertake the works and so forth. I want to again thank all of you and thank the Ministry of Public Works for its diligence. Thank you. Do you allow questions at this ceremony? It's the first time I'm coming to you.
Well, we had no questions.
Oh,
Mark.
But if you want to field questions,
I can take 2 questions, but I have to go to cabinet. I just stop by and so on.
In addition to your big speech this morning?
Well, I have indicated I rest my case on this matter. I don't intend to engage anybody in any shouting across the airwaves. And my statement is final. That's my statement, and I have nothing else to say. And I have many other things to confront and to deal with. And so on. All right. How did you find the statement, though? I'm not kidding. You have to answer. All right. Take care. Thank you.
CTO Lancelot will just deliver a few votes of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all. Minister of Public Works and Ports, Dr. Mark Tintire, Minister of Planning and Parliamentary Representative for the Roseau Valley. We'd like to thank you for your presence. We'd like to also thank you for your support in our efforts as a ministry in embarking on these projects. We also like to thank not only the contractors who have been awarded the contracts today, but also all of those who participated in the procurement process. We'd like to thank them and wish them good luck in the future participation in other procurement processes that we may embark upon. We thank you for your presence as members of the media, and we thank the contractors for making themselves available for this afternoon's proceedings. But most of all, I want to thank our staff, the staff of the Ministry of Public Works, who put in a lot of work in a very short time to put together these projects that involve the surveyors, the engineers, the quantity surveyors, the draftsmen. So I really want to commend them on their great effort. Without the effort of the staff, we would not be able to have this event today. And we look forward to the works of the contractors being, as previously said, of good quality, in a timely fashion and within cost. So thank you very much. Good afternoon.
What time tomorrow is the signing? What time?